Hi, I'm Kevin Michalowski, editor of Concealed Carry Magazine. In this edition of Into the Fray, we'll talk about the fallacy that revolvers never jam. One thing you hear from people who think they know a lot about guns is that revolvers are completely and perfectly reliable and nothing bad will ever happen with your revolver. That could not be farther from the truth. And the big problem you have with a revolver is that when things go bad, they go catastrophically bad, and that pistol, that handgun, is out of the fight. You can't just do a tap, rack, roll, rack the slide, or insert a fresh magazine. When you've got revolver problems, you've got huge problems, and that gun is out of the fight. One of the first things we'll talk about is people who snap their revolver shut like this. Never, never, never do that. I shouldn't even do it on TV. When you snap your revolver shut, you can end up bending the crane, and that can put your revolving cylinder out of time. What I'm talking about, the timing of a revolver, is the topmost chamber on the revolving cylinder needs to be lined up perfectly with that barrel. If it's not, the bullet will slam into the forcing cone on the barrel off center, and that will send little shards of lead or jacketed material out the chamber gap here at the revolving cylinder side, and it will put your rounds off target. It will end up with a deformed, non-performing round that's coming out the barrel, sometimes even a little bit sideways. Things get messed up when a revolver is out of time. And it can finally get so far out of time that when you shoot it, it might just blow up in your hand. And speaking of hand, the hand is what moves the revolving cylinder around. The internal components of the revolver need to be kept in good working order. You can't just be slamming these things around because the hand lifts up the cylinder, hits the ratchet inside, and rotates the cylinder around to bring the next round in line with the barrel. If you mess up the ratchet, this area right here, if you're messed up with the ratchet or your hand is messed up or bent on the internal portion of the revolver, that revolver is not going to revolve. You will have a one-shot gun, and that's no good. So you need to make sure you take care of those internals when you're working on your revolver too. Other problems that can go wrong with your revolver include a mainspring failure, the mainspring down inside the grip, which actually runs the hammer. If the mainspring breaks or gets worn out, you're out of the game. You're done. Nothing is going to happen with your revolver. This hammer will just flop back and forth. There's nothing that you can do about it. You can also end up with a trigger return spring problem. Your trigger doesn't come back forward. So you need to pay attention to that as well. This is all part of maintenance on your revolver. And all of this should dispel the belief that a revolver is 100% reliable. It's not. You need to maintain your revolver just as you maintain any other firearm. You need to know how it works, and you need to know what to do when something goes wrong. Typically, in the case of a revolver, what to do when something goes wrong is find another gun and pick up the fight that way. Then take your revolver to a competent gunsmith and have him repair it. Because there's really nothing you can do to a revolver out in the fight to get the gun working again if something goes wrong. I'm Kevin Michalowski, editor of Concealed Carry Magazine, and this has been Into the Fray. If you like these videos, click the like button, share them, and subscribe to our page. We'll get you more great information every week.